Good afternoon. The case of an accused child killer in New Mexico is on hold. Tony Day is accused of murdering his adoptive mother and sister. Well, there's now a fight over his rights and the rights of the victims, and his case isn't the only one that might be affected by the outcome. In November 2012, 14-year-old Tony Day allegedly stabbed his sister, 49-year-old Sherry Foltz, then shot his mother, 67-year-old Sue Day, in their Tucumcari home. Tony Day is charged with 2 counts of murder. If he's found guilty and sentenced as a juvenile, he would stay locked up until he's 21. If he's sentenced as an adult, he could face 2 life sentences. The issue? Under New Mexico law, a juvenile doesn't know if he'll be sentenced as an adult until after his trial or a plea agreement. Neither the prosecutor in this case, Kirk Chavez.
In this particular case, I think the victim's due process and the children's due process is defeated.
Or Tony Day's attorney, Jeff Buckles, agrees with that procedure.
Well, I consider it intolerable.
So on this issue, the two are on the same side and have agreed to do an amenability hearing before trial. That hearing determines whether a child is likely to be rehabilitated within the juvenile system and how they'll be sentenced. The judge has tentatively approved it. But the Children, Youth and Families Department, who would have to conduct that amenability hearing, has argued against it, saying the law doesn't allow it. A spokesman says the agency is considering its legal options. So this case remains on hold, something the attorneys say is unfair to the victims.
They have constitutional rights just like defendants. And one of those constitutional rights is to be able to take part intelligently in plea negotiations. It makes no sense whatsoever. My victims would have to sit through that trial, and the emotional cost upon them would be amazing.
And the suspect.
With my adult clients, I can have a rational conversation about what they're facing when they choose between a plea and a trial. With my juvenile clients, I can't. And that's pretty ridiculous.
And while a change to the law won't likely happen before this case is over, Prosecutor Kirk Chavez says he won't stop fighting for a change.
I'm going to challenge this at every single turn. And let me tell you something. If the New Mexico Supreme Court agrees with CYFD, I think there are already victims groups and juvenile advocacy groups out there in the nation who are going to, at that point in time, want to take this a little bit higher and challenge this particular law at a higher court.
Now, the argument for the law in the first place was that it might help move juvenile cases through the system more quickly, something attorneys say has not happened.